Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a quick video. I'm just going to give you a little update or some information if you don't already know that I am going to be coming out with my own fragrance. Now I know some of you are going to be like, oh, another YouTuber releasing a fragrance. Heard it all before. Fair enough, you know, you don't have to listen and you certainly don't have to buy into it at all, but that's what's happening and I'm going to give you some information about that in just a moment. But first of all, let's have a little chat about compliments. So I've just done a video about getting a girlfriend in 2020 using fragrances, and obviously made my opinion fairly clear that a fragrance alone is not going to get you a partner. It is basically the icing on the cake, but of course we all want to smell nice, and many of us do consider the people around us when we choose our fragrances. But I've also been thinking there are some people that don't have that much of a sense of smell themselves. They want to wear a fragrance because they want to be well groomed and they want to appeal to people and they want to make sure they're wearing something that's nice and that's not going to be off-putting. So I do kind of get that not everyone's like me. They're not massively into fragrances and looking at the artistry and the beauty. Perhaps they literally just want a utility product that's going to make them smell as mass appealing as possible to go along with their sparkling personality, their cleanliness, and their humour, their intelligence, and all the other attributes that of course equate to someone being attractive. So this video, really, I thought I'd just chat about the fact that there are people out there that do just want, not necessarily compliments, I think that's a word that's used but not necessarily in the correct way. When people say compliment getting, I think what they really mean is more mass appealing fragrances that have got reactions out of people. And so for that purpose, I'm just going to share a few. They're off the top of my head, I haven't got them here with me. This is just a chatty video, and for me the most complimented fragrance I've ever worn was a Molecule One from Esenctric Molecules, hands down. It's a fragrance that people have bought because they smelt it on me and they loved it so much. Not to mention the projection and the longevity are out of this world. It lasted on me, there was 2 different occasions. I seem to mix them up in my head when I try and retell the story, but there was 2 different occasions where I got a few compliments, and on both occasions it was a really hot day and I'd been wearing it for quite a long time when people noticed it, and I'd been walking in the hot sun, so it wasn't like I'd been indoors. I'd actually been walking for quite a good hour in the hot sun, and still, I think it's the end of that day, I got a compliment from a colleague who had ended up tracking me down. She didn't really know me, and she tracked me down to ask me what it was so that she could buy it, and she did buy it. So Molecule One, and that's got me compliments also from a lady that sold me shoes just across the counter, so you know, more than an arm's distance away. The thing with Molecule One is it's a very simple, it's based on one note, which is your ISO-y super type note. So it's a bit like cedar wood, so it's like a sweetish wood. It's quite dry, it's a bit musky, and it just has this je ne sais quoi. There's just something about it that seems to be very attractive to most people's noses. So if you really are not too bothered about the notes and the perfume and the artistry and the history and all the rest of it, and you simply want a utility perfume that, as a man or a woman, and you absolutely can wear it at any gender that you might be, then you can't go wrong with Esenctric Molecules. It is absolutely mass appealing. Other people have very similar stories to me. If you look up reviews for Molecule One, you will find quite a few people sharing unsolicited compliment stories that you get with this fragrance. So if that's all you want, then that's all you need. Literally, that's all you need. Molecule One, and that will do you day, night, any season. You are done. However, if you wanted to be a little bit more sophisticated or something with a little bit more going on, then I've got a couple of options. I've got a couple that are more female orientated and a couple for the chaps. So for the females, I think you really can't go wrong with Chanel, Coco, Mademoiselle, and the intense version if you want to stand out a little bit from everyone else. So Coco Mademoiselle is very, very popular. I can smell it as soon as I notice it around me, in the air. I know exactly what it is. If you go for the intense version, it is slightly different. It is a little bit richer. There's a little bit more to it, and you won't therefore risk smelling like someone's mother or someone's sister, or worse, someone's ex-girlfriend. So I recommend, it's very mass appealing. Most people are really going to enjoy that fragrance on you. So I would say that's a really good one to choose without being too obvious and smelling like everybody else. Another option that is more female orientated is Stella Eau de Parfum. So Stella McCartney, and it's the Eau de Parfum, and I used to wear that. I got through several bottles before I fell down the niche rabbit hole. It's a beautiful rose fragrance with some patchouli, and it's a bit woodsy and musky. Very, very sexy, perfect fragrance. Still doesn't smell like everyone else because not that many people were wearing it now. It was very popular at the time. Still, it wasn't massively popular, but it's quite popular, and now it's, because there's so much more competition, there's much less people wearing it, and it's a really beautiful, sexy rose fragrance that doesn't smell dated, or it doesn't smell like the kind of rose that you get in shower gels and hand lotions. It's a deeper, sexier, more sensual rose. So I think that's a great one if you want to stand out a little bit, but still definitely you're going to get compliments from people. For the fellas, I would say a utility smell would be Dunhill Icon. That is quite affordable, has a bright neroli citrus opening, it dries down to some woods. It has quite a lot of isoe super in the base, so it's got that sexy, musky, cedar-like woodsiness in the base. A really great daytime fragrance. You can wear it to the office, you can wear it casual, you could wear it at night as well, maybe just go a bit heavier on the sprays. It's very mass appealing. I also got a compliment wearing it from an elderly lady in the co-op near where I work. That might not be what you're aiming for, but I had a lady, she stopped in the middle of the aisle. There was me and several other people, and she stopped and said very loudly, "Who is it that smells like that? That's really good." And I had to sort of come clean because it was quite obviously me. So Dunhill Icon is a very, in my opinion, quite a mass appealing fragrance, very likable indeed. Now, if you wanted something richer, deeper, darker, maybe suitable for dates, nights out, clubbing, then I would say Cartier L'Envol. That was my cat sneezing in the background, by the way. Cartier L'Envol, because that has gorgeous, rich honey tones. It's woodsy still, but I think there's violet leaf in there. There's something that gives it a real lift, makes it a little bit exciting, a little more daring, but it's not weird and it's not difficult to understand. It just smells really cozy and gorgeous on the skin. So Cartier L'Envol for more of an effect, and perhaps for night time if you want something richer and stronger. If you have any suggestions on a mass appealing type fragrances, the kind of things that will likely get you compliments, the kind of things that are very wearable and very pleasing that you want to suggest, you can do so in the comments below and share that with everyone that reads the comments, and myself of course. And let's move on then, just a little bit of information. So I am releasing a perfume. I'm not revealing the perfumer just yet, but it is an indie brand. It's an existing indie brand, and the details are not set in stone at the moment, but we are working on some mods. So I've already smelt some mods, really loved them. One of them in particular I absolutely adored, but wanted to make it a little bit more on brief And so the perfumer at this time is just tweaking that to make it a little bit more on brief, and she'll be sending me more mods for me to try. Hopefully they'll get here in time before I go on my little holiday. So I'm off on holiday on Tuesday. So today is Friday. It's Friday night now and I'm off on holiday on Tuesday. I've got to work. I've been working. I've got to work tomorrow and the next day. So I'm working Saturday and Sunday. And I've got one day to get ready for my holiday, but I've got a couple of appointments to fit in as well. So a bit of a busy bee at the moment because I've got to prepare. I need to pack for my holiday, make sure I've got everything I need, and I will be taking the mods on holiday with me and giving my feedback to the perfumer while I'm away. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a basic idea of what the fragrance is all about. Well, the inspiration, or part of the inspiration we're using, is rainbows, and it's kind of like a nostalgic scent to take you back to, let's imagine a day when you want to go out and play but it's been raining, and then all of a sudden, suddenly the sky is clear, there's a beautiful rainbow in the distance, the pavement's still wet, the sun's come out, you've been allowed to go out and play, and not only that, you've got some money to go to the sweet shop and you get yourself a bag of mixed sweets, and you've got a paper bag filled with beautiful sweets that you love. Imagine the pink shrimps, Parma violets, pear drops, white chocolate mice. Imagine you've got all of those in your paper bag and the sun's hitting the wet pavement and suddenly you have this bright sunshine. So what we're trying to capture is kind of a lot of what's going on in that scene. So it's a little bit nostalgic, definitely gourmand, but with the weather aspects creating some grounding. So it's not too sweet. It's definitely got some earthiness, or some, we're going to use sort of an iris, and there's a material called geosmin or geosim. It's one of those which creates a very earthy smell, a bit like a petrichor kind of feel. So that's kind of what we're going for. For me, the main aspect of the perfume is that it's not too sweet and that it does have a decent development. It's not going to be linear. That's my main criteria. Of course, it's important to me that it lasts, but lasting power is not going to be the deal breaker. It's got to smell really, really good. And if that means it only lasts 4 or 5 hours, then so be it. But this perfumer is absolutely amazing, and I have a feeling that longevity is not going to be a problem anyway. I'm just letting you know where longevity stands in my list of criteria, and it's about third down from the scent being absolutely flipping amazing and having the scent development and not being too sweet. So fourth down is longevity. But just, if you like what I like, then basically this is kind of me bottled, if you like. So that's the fragrance. We can't say when it's going to be released, but we're hoping for early summer. Let's say early summer if we can. As far as I'm aware, we may only be able to ship it in the UK. If there's any way at all we can ship it out further, then of course I would love to be able to do that, but it's very, very tough to be able to do that with shipping restrictions and stuff. So I think that's really all I need to tell you. I will be updating you further down the line once we've got some more stuff to tell you, really. But it is really exciting, and I hope you're excited for me, and I hope you're excited for the fragrance, because it is a passion of mine, and I consider myself very lucky that I'm in this position, that I've been able to work with a perfumer. For someone like me, I only have a very small YouTube channel. I'm not one of the big guys, and trust me on this, this is not a money-making exercise. Any profit to be made is absolutely minuscule when it comes to indie perfumery anyway. It's not what it's about for me. This is the opportunity to have something made exactly to my specifications, which I know will suit so many of you guys, the ones that watch me regularly, the ones that comment and share the same taste as me. I just know that this is something that you're gonna absolutely love, and I just want to share that with everyone. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.